Okay. So the question, which statement is correct? In operationalization, always measures a limited aspect of a construct. Always. It's hard to say, but it may be. Sometimes measures construct from different perspectives. It's possible, but sometimes may just only more. So maybe this statement is better than other. If you want, you can put all the aspects or perspectives together to measure a construct. That's possible. So then we can say this operationalization is more comprehensive. But if you only want to focus on some aspect, then this operationalization may just measure a limited aspect of a construct. Okay. So I think at the beginning, I just try to clarify this part. Okay, then let's check another one. About variables and variable independent and the dependent variables. Okay, this one. For this one, I think we won't watch again. Just a question for you. Here, this YouTube provides some examples, right? And sorry, Chen-Dong, your microphone. Okay. In this YouTube examples, it provides to explain independent variable and the dependent variable. What kind of research design? What kind of research design it use? It's cross-sectional or longitudinal? Cross-sectional or longitudinal? Think my question. Examples here in this YouTube are the research. The research design is cross-sectional or longitudinal. Cross-sectional or longitudinal. Let's say one is cross-sectional. 2 longitudinal. Okay, please let me know. Please respond to the chatting box. Last week, we talked about research design, different types of research design. One is cross-sectional, the other one is longitudinal. For examples here in this YouTube, okay, maybe we need to watch at least one example, and then maybe it will be easier for you to answer. Okay, that's fine. You can watch it together, and please think about it about my question.
Independent and dependent variables. How are independent and dependent variables different? An independent variable, also called the manipulated variable, has the ability to stand alone. It is not changed by the other variable. It is the variable you are changing or manipulating. The dependent variable, also called the responding variable, depends on the other variable. It is the variable you are measuring. Let's look at some examples. It is summertime. You would like to know if the color of the car impacts the inside temperature.
The color of the car, or the color of the car. The color of the car impacts the inside temperature of the car.
You find 4 cars of different colors.
So then here there are different colors.
And park them outside. You measure the inside temperature of each car every 30 minutes for 2 hours. The color of the car is your independent variable.
So the color of the car is independent variable.
It will not change based on the outside temperature, and you have 4 different colors. You are changing this variable by choosing the different colors. The change in the temperature inside each car is your dependent variable. It may vary according to the car's color. You will be measuring this variable by taking the temperature inside the car every 30 minutes for 2 hours.
Okay, every 30 minutes for 2 hours. Okay, I think this one is the key information. Every 30 minutes for 2 hours.
Let's look at a couple other examples.
Okay, we just use this example. So what do you think? Is this cross-sectional or longitudinal? I think the answer might be obvious. So type, answer, respond, reply to my question. 1 or 2, cross-sectional or longitudinal? Cross-sectional or longitudinal? Please reply to my question. For this example, is a research design cross-sectional or longitudinal? Okay. How about other students? Is a research design cross-sectional or longitudinal? What do you think? Or do you don't have any idea? You cannot tell? Okay, 2, 1, cross-sectional or longitudinal? Yeah, okay, maybe this example is not obvious. So, okay, 1. Cross-sectional or longitudinal? Okay. Let me check. Where can I find out the cross-sectional and the longitudinal? So it seems these two maybe still not clear for you. Where's the research design, research process, research design? Research design. Oh yeah, cross-sectional. Let's check. A study based on observations representing a single point in time, a cross-section, a population. Okay. Longitudinal study, a study design involving the collection of data at different points in time. So let's check. I think I give you a strong hint here. I said I say here every 30 minutes, 2 hours. Every 30 minutes, 2 hours. At least, for example, at the beginning, for example, at 10 a.m. in the morning, they check the temperature inside the car, and maybe 30 minutes later, they check again the second time, 11, again the third time, 11:30, again the third time, and 12 and noon, again the fourth time. So then they can compare. They can compare whether the change between the different points of time might be bigger or smaller in some color than in other colors, right? So what do you think? Is this cross-sectional or longitudinal? I think it's longitudinal because the result based on different points of time. Yes. I'm sorry, sir. I mean cross-sectional because it's based on one single time. You may think of again. It collect data only one time or a couple of times. So for those who answer one, do you want to argue with me, or do you want to answer one more time? After you listen to my explanation or my argument. So now, what do you think? Is one or two? Try again. Try again. Is one or two? Is cross-sectional or longitudinal? Longitudinal or cross-sectional? think the major difference between these two, cross-sectional and longitudinal, just is about how many points of time they collect data. For longitudinal, they collect data in different points of time. Yes. Okay. So for longitudinal, I think that's for longitudinal. But if you still disagree with me, you may argue. You may try to provide your argument. Let me know. What's your thought? In my opinion, because they collect data in different points of time, at least they need to collect data at the beginning, and then maybe 2 hours later, they collect the temperature data again. So then they can compare. They can do the calculation to know the change. To know the change of the temperature. And so then, using the change of the temperatures to compare whether these four with different color, the 4 cars with different color will have the different changes of the temperature, right? So this kind of study is longitudinal, and we can say it's kind of like experimental. So they put these cars. Maybe it's better to have the same type of car. For example, as you can see here, the red car and the green car is the same. So maybe all the other color of cars may be also the same type of car, because maybe if they use different materials for the car, maybe they will influence the result. So it's important to control those factors. They may influence the result. So everything the same, every other thing's the same, only the color is different. Then we can say maybe yes, the color is the reason to influence the car. Okay. So this is I would like you to pay attention to this. This is important. Usually, if the study or the research design is longitudinal, then it's easier to examine the causal relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. However, for the cross-sectional study, sometimes if we want to examine a causal relationship, maybe we need to pay attention which variables tend to be an independent and which variables tend to be dependent variable. So okay, so maybe we need to check the PPT here. Okay, independent variables, a variable with values okay, presumed to cause or determine a dependent variable. It's like a reason, a cause, and the dependent variable is like a result or consequences. A variable assumed to depend on or be caused by another. Okay. But how about in the cross-sectional study? How do we decide which variable is independent and which variable is dependent? Okay. There's another PPT in the last week. You can check the variable and the variable. Yeah, concept and the variable. You can open this one. Concept and the variable. Okay, I think before we discuss this, then I think I may give you an example. Then based on this example, then you may have a more feeling about this idea. So now, for example, if we use a questionnaire, and this questionnaire ask your the gender. So, for example, male, female, and another question or other questions asking how often do you watch sports? How often? For example, every day, or 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, 1 day a week, or almost no. Anyway, we can design a questionnaire like this. So the respondents can answer that this question, these two questions, male and how often they watch the sports. And then after we get the data, and then we do the data analysis, and we find that the result shows, it seems, when we compare the male group and the female groups, and we find that it seems the male group has higher frequency than female group to watch the sports. In this study, we use questionnaire to get the data. It's just one time. So let's cross-section. But in this study, how do we decide independent variable and dependent variable? Will you say the independent variable is gender or the frequency? Maybe we just call sport spectatorship. Which one? For the independent variable is it? Do you think it's gender or sport spectatorship? And why? Why do you think? How do you explain your answer? Okay, so think of my question and please reply. cannot download. Okay, I think I need to give. Oh, this one is okay. This one you can download, no problem. Allow. Okay, second one. Research process. Okay. So now I think you can download the second one. The third one. Okay, you can download right now. The fourth one. Okay. Okay, I think you can download right now. Okay, so what do you think? Is it which one is the independent variable? Which one? Which one is the independent variable? It's gender or the watching sports? Which one? Which one is the independent variable? The one or two? Gender or watching sport behavior? The reason independent is gender, dependent is watching sport. Okay, good. I think this one is not difficult to answer. But why? 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 Why gender is independent variable? Why? Independent is gender, then dependent is the behavior, because every gender may have a different behavior when watching sport. Yeah, your statement try to have a causal relationship. Every gender may have different behavior when watching sport. Yeah, from this statement, gender is the independent variable. But is there any we may call characteristics of gender of this variable that make this variable tend to be independent variable? Is there any characteristic of this variable which will make this variable tend to be independent variable? May show different traits, though in practice. Okay, because gender cannot be changed. Yes, this is the answer that I want. Pay attention to this one. Gender cannot be changed. I think it's because the preferred output of the research is knowing the sports viewing behavior, while that we do not specifically tamper with the gender while doing the research, as it is something that is hard to. Yes, I think your answer is similar, because we cannot change gender. We cannot manipulate. We cannot change the gender. We cannot say, or it's difficult to say if they watch more sports, then the person will become male or female. This is something that's hard to manipulate. So gender is hard to change. It's the same. It's a reason. So pay attention to this one. So if a variable which is difficult to change, then this kind of variable tend to be independent variable in a cross-sectional study. Okay, so gender is one of the example. Other examples like, in fact, all those demographic variable, demographic variable, usually they will be thought as considered as independent variable because usually they are hard to be changed during a short period of time. For example, at least you need to take one year or 1.5 years or even 2 years to get a graduate degree, right? So basically your educational background, your educational level, today, tomorrow, during this week is the same. It's hard to change. So demographic variable usually is considered as independent variable. How about any other things that may not be easily changed? Can you think of any other examples? And for this reason, these kind of variables will be considered as independent variable. Can you think of any other examples? Can you think of any other examples in the social sciences? Okay, let me tell you. Belief, value, personality. Okay. All these things are not easily changed. It's hard to change. Like the value or personality. In Chinese, you say 江山易改，本性难移. You can change your mountain, but it's hard to change your person's personality. So these kind of variables tend to be independent variable. Okay, and the behavior usually are considered as dependent variable because usually they are influenced by a person's value behind to influence their behavior. Okay, so behavior usually is a dependent variable. Okay, this is very important. At least today you need to know this. Take home. Okay, let's go back to. So now we can watch. We can see this PPT now. So here's a table. So now I think you can understand this table. Okay, here is independent and dependent variable. Sometimes we use other terms, but it's the same. not here. Okay, this one, the degree to which each variable may be altered. Okay, that's what I mean, the degree to which each variable may be altered. So for example, the gender is hard to be changed, to be altered. So this one will be the independent variable. And the time order between the variables, the time, for example, the time 1, time 2, the variable happened in time 1, and this variable will become the independent variable. For example, in here, like a stimulus and the response. So this one in the stimulus, time 1 is a independent variable, and response is dependent variable. So that's a sequence, the time order. Okay. I think I need to find out the PPT. Seems not here. Maybe other. Let me check. Research design here. I'm not sure. Not here. Research process. Oh, not here. It's in Chinese. So probably that's the reason I did not put this one. Oh, maybe you can still watch here. You can see here, stimulus, property, disposition, behavior. Okay, I think as long as you can recognize these 4 words, that's enough. That's enough. So stimulus and the response, in this kind of relationship, the stimulus is independent and the response is dependent. For the property and disposition, property is like age, your gender, your age, your social status, your belief, religious belief, something like that. And disposition is like attitude, opinion, your hobby, your value. So I say value is difficult to change, but compared to gender is more difficult, but it's harder to change compared to value. So gender is the first one, and then value. So disposition is a value. So when we put this together, property and disposition, and property, all may call demographic variables are independent variable, and the disposition is dependent variable. Okay, and then property, behavior, disposition, behavior, then behavior is dependent variable. Okay, I think this one is obvious. So this is a table, but it's in Chinese. Maybe I need to find out the English version. Hopefully I can find out the English version, but I explain this for you. Maybe we will discuss. I will tell you this one next week, but next time, not this one, not today. Okay, next one, next time. Okay, then let's move on to the mediator and the moderator. Mediator and moderator. So let's check. Okay, another one is levels of measurement. Levels of measurement. Okay, maybe we'll take a few minutes. Check this one. Levels of measurement. Levels of measurement. And this is also important to clarify. Okay, so nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Okay. And here also for the questionnaire, there's two mutually exclusive and also exhaustive, right? Here's an example. But the reason why I show you this, because you may watch by yourself for the details. But for this one, we may say this one is ordinal, because going to the coding, 2 obviously is higher than 1. So this is ordinal, not nominal, right? Okay, I just want you to pay attention to this part. Okay, then let's move on to the mediator. Let's read your answer together. I'm not sure whether you answer or not. For the elderly people, doing exercise or not may not influence life satisfaction. Do you think so? Or do you may not think so? Can you explain your answer? Is there anyone else reply? Okay, good. I think doing exercise for elderly people will influence life, but this is good influence. When they keep to exercise, they will get healthier. For example, doing exercise, finish will. Okay, good. Next one. Exercise is important for people. Studies have proven exercise can improve Okay, so you think doing exercise will influence, basically will influence the life satisfaction. Okay, good. Next one. For elderly, I think doing exercise will make better life satisfaction because research pointed out that fit exercise will have a better mood. Okay, good. So agree. In my opinion, the exercise carried out by the elderly cannot directly affect their life satisfaction. Okay, good. Cannot pay attention, cannot directly. Okay, why? Because a person's life satisfaction, elderly people cannot be measured by only one aspect in the doing exercise. Pay attention here. Because there are many factors, there are many reasons which can contribute to life satisfaction, right? But exercise is very important for elderly people because exercise, okay, good. And this should have been done. Okay, good. But pay attention to this one. Because life satisfaction can be attributed to many factors. For example, maybe the relationship with family members, or maybe their religious belief, or maybe other things. Maybe my point is not only the exercise, doing exercise is not only one factors to influence the life satisfaction. So think of this. I think sports for elderly will increase satisfaction and help their health and doing things. Okay, good. Some people may think doing exercise is some kind of privilege to young, but I do think doing exercise may influence elderly people. Doing exercise makes people not only healthier, but also happier. That's exactly what the old need. Okay, good. Based on the needs. Okay, life satisfaction itself has a lot of meaning by most people. As for the example, okay, good. That's very good. Give us another example, maybe health, wealth, money. Good. Big part of it. Okay. Okay, so it depends. It depends how do you conceptualize the life satisfaction as a happy life. You might be right. Okay. Good. Okay. Good answer. I agree with this statement. Exercise is more beneficial to health, but for the elderly, proper exercise can improve, and the mental health can improve physical and the mental health. Okay, good. This is because the relationship between these two is from the kind of like from physical to mental. If we define or conceptualize the life satisfaction is a mental or the happy, like a happiness. But if it's excessive training, it will cause harm to the body. Okay. Next one. I think may influence their life satisfaction or easier sports, yoga. Okay. Also think doing that's also social outlet they could improve. Okay. So improve upon the elderly daily experience, then improving their overall life satisfaction. I think that's good. Your answer is good. So this kind of improve upon the daily experience first, and then influence life satisfaction. Yeah, this is kind of mediator. Okay, good, good. Next one. I concur with the statement. In general, improve our health and make a part routine. So studies have proven that has a significant impact on one's health. Will improve mental and physical health. Preventing disease. Okay, okay. Your answer is good in details. Okay, okay, good. Improve cognitive function. Okay. Improve cognitive function. Improve strength and flexibility. Okay, good. All these are like mediators. On the final note. Okay, good. I think pay attention to here. Improve strength and flexibility and improve cognitive function. Okay, good. For the elderly people, different factors. Okay, excessive. Okay, if too much, maybe that's more harm. Okay, it's correct. The level of life satisfaction. Try to do operationalization, different results because of different understanding about what life satisfaction is. Okay, good, good. This is good. So it depends. It depends on how do we conceptualize and depends on how do we operationalize this idea or this construct. Okay, okay. If life satisfaction means having healthy body, okay, then yeah, obviously doing exercise physically will have a better or healthier body. Okay. Okay. Depends on which definition. Okay, very good. In details, very good. So I think when we look at other classmates' answers, then we may learn more. I think doing exercise, you'll get the life satisfaction, healthier, and body endurance increase. Their body endurance then can be decreased the level. Oh, very good. This is a very good answer. Very good answer. Very good answer. Okay, let's try. Let's try to provide a concept mapping for this one. And then this is a very good conclusion for today's class. Let me show you and use this to explain the mediator. Let me open the okay. Okay, so here I will try to use this example to explain what does mediator mean and why this is important. For example, we can divide into two parts. This is body, physical, and this part is mental. Sometimes it's not quite easy directly to have an influence of body into the mental. Not so direct, not so directly. Sometimes indirect. For example, particularly for the elderly people, if the study, the research population is elderly people, when they do the exercise, this may influence the increase the body endurance. This is good answer. Body endurance or other idea. For example, they can do because doing exercise to strengthen their muscle or strengthen their body, so they can live their lives independently. So they don't have to rely on their family members. So this is important for elderly people after they're doing exercise, so they can, for example, just use this endurance. And for this one, then they will go to the mental, because they will improve their confidence, and reduce depression. This is very important, depression. In this part. So these are mediator, and then go to the life satisfaction, because this part is mental, life satisfaction. But other classmates also provide a very good answer. Here, I think we tend to define life satisfaction is in the aspect of mental or psychological happiness in this aspect. So then for this, then they will increase their life satisfaction. Okay. So I think I try to use this example to help you understand why the mediator is important. If without these mediators, sometimes the relationship between these two may not be so obvious. Maybe a relationship directly between these two maybe is weak, because there are many other factors. Contribute to life satisfaction. But however, when we put given these mediators, because doing exercise obviously will improve the endurance, and then from the endurance they can have their life, they can live their lives independently. So then they can have a very good positive confidence, and also they don't feel this has depression. So then this will contribute to the life satisfaction. Okay. This is the reason I try to use this example and put this as a discussion topic for you. And I hope after this discussion you can have more understanding of this idea of mediator. Okay, I think it's almost 7, so maybe we'll discuss next week about the moderator. Sometimes students can feel confused about these two, mediator and the moderator, but these two are very different. So maybe it's good. This week we discuss mediator, and next week we discuss moderator, so you don't feel confused. But it's important. These two are very important in the research. If you can have a very clear understanding about these two and use these two appropriately in your research design, I think the quality of your research will be much better than if you don't understand these two.